What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. I promised something special for you guys. Well, this is it. Congratulations. In honor of Avengers Infinity War moving 1 week prior, so we, instead of getting the movie on May 4th, we now get it April 27th. I didn't even know this was going to happen, but hey, it worked out good for this video. Something is really just, it's been gnawing at me lately. Who is going to die in Avengers Infinity War? Now, I know I made a video like this last year, but that was a different time, different ball game. It was before Thor Ragnarok, before Black Panther. Now we have those movies. Now there are new predictions. But instead of me just giving you guys my thoughts because I'm a boring person, I needed some help for this video. And where else to look for help than an app full of people who love movies, who react to trailers, who enjoy doing what I do. There are so many smart people on the Stardust app, so I put out a call. I wanted to know what they thought, who they thought would die in Avengers Infinity War. And I expected like 5 responses. I ended up getting over 30, and I did everything I could to include every single person. So if you're watching this and you made a video and it's somehow not in here, I am so sorry. I tried to include everyone because literally everyone had a decent response, one that made me think, so I appreciate that. If I didn't include you and this goes well, I'm definitely doing this again, and for all of you guys who don't have Stardust, the opportunity to get in on this is going to arise again, so I implore you guys, go to the link in the description, download the Stardust app, follow all of these amazing creators in this video, and let's get started, guys. Who is going to die in Avengers Infinity War? So this first batch of Stardusters, they're giving you some good reasons as to why my favorite character will bite the dust in this film. It's so sad.
Oh, I hate to say it. Cap's going, man. Cap's gonna get a cap in his... Yeah, Cap's going, man. I don't know. I just think in part 1 we're definitely gonna lose someone big.
Captain America. Yeah. It's gonna be Captain America, because he's just too good.
And yeah, in the comic books, everyone gets killed off. But in a film, to me personally, I think it's going to be Captain America. Mainly because if he dies, the team will be weak. It will be defenseless because their leader's gone.
Captain America, more than likely, is going to die, and Bucky or Falcon will take over the mantle of Captain America.
I probably agree with everyone else. It might be Captain America.
For my money, I'd say Captain America would die. He seems like a character that would sacrifice himself to save his team and his friends in the Avengers.
Alright, I think they're definitely going to kill Cap in this one. That's just my theory. That would give way for either Bucky or Falcon to step in as the next Captain America.
It's a good point by Sethicus there at the end. It's giving way for someone else to take the mantle, and I think that's the biggest reason why a lot of people think Captain America. I would say that's the most popular answer, is he's going to be the one that dies. If not in this movie, there's another Avengers movie coming out in a year, and I think if he doesn't die here, there's a good possibility he dies there. It's the hero's sacrifice, the story you see in so many different movies. I believe that might apply here. I'm not giving you my thoughts just yet. That's coming later in the video, but Captain America is a very good choice. And I would say the second biggest choice here is Iron Man. Here's some thoughts as to why he might die.
I would say it's Iron Man because fitting in the whole story of what's been going on with Tony Stark, all the sacrifices he's made and all like the burden he's been feeling from what's been going on in all these movies. It would feel right for him to sacrifice himself or die for the greater good.
Tony Stark. For one, his Marvel contract is almost up, but you could say that about a couple other Avengers. I think it would be really interesting if the guy that started off the cinematic universe was the first one to die, and he sacrifices himself for Peter Parker. That would be really cool.
I say Iron Man is probably going to die in Infinity War. If you think about it, he's the one that started this whole universe. I don't want him to, because, in fact, I don't want anybody to die, because I love all these characters, and I love them going on this journey.
I'm going to put my money on poor Tony Stark. There really doesn't seem to be anything left of Tony's arc in the MCU.
And this is quite a ballsy one. Iron Man is going to die.
I have a feeling that it's going to be Iron Man, especially when I think that he... didn't he, like, want to retire in the last Iron Man movie?
Take out Tony Stark as well. That would definitely, I think, be really shocking.
And I think it's going to be Iron Man and Captain America, definitely, because both those actors are pretty much done with Marvel at this point. Their contracts are about to expire, so I think they're pretty much done with Marvel after this movie.
Okay, Marvel has been building up this story for 10 years, so I believe we're losing somebody that we've known that long, and that would be either Captain America or Iron Man.
Now, what are two things you heard most often in those comments? Story arc and contract negotiations. Now, the story arc makes sense plot-wise, but if you start to think about it, Robert Downey Jr., is he coming back? But like I said, these guys are smarter than me, and they know what they're talking about when they say that his contract is basically almost up, if it's not yet up, and I believe that's one thing that's going to factor in whether or not Tony Stark comes back for another movie. So you've got the Captain America predictions, you've got the Iron Man predictions, but who's the third most popular character to...
Obviously, Vision is going to die. The stone in his forehead. We've even seen the trailer. He's getting the stone attacked by Thanos.
I think Vision, because of his Infinity Stone, will suffer at the hand of Thanos.
I think Vision is up there too because of the Infinity Stone.
Vision will die. You can see in a trailer. And he's the most obvious character to die because he has a Mind Stone in his head, so of course he's gonna die.
Technically, there should have already been several deaths in Civil War, but they kind of glanced over it. But if I had to throw my hat in the ring, I'd have to say Vision because of his Infinity Stone.
I think Vision's gonna die because by the trail looks like the gem in his head is gonna get ripped out, and I think he's gonna be brought back to life in part 2.
Makes the most sense if you think about it. And I was riding that train for a while. I don't think I'm on that train any longer, but Vision is a great option because you see, even in the trailer that we got, his Infinity Stone is getting messed up. I think the responses that cracked me up the most were the ones that just frankly said everyone is going to die.
I think it would be a much more exciting film if, like, everybody that we've grown to love these past 10 years were just dead. Because, I mean, number one, it would suck. A lot of people would be, like, upset and be like, oh, why did this just happen? But, like, it happens in the comic books. And so I think it would just make it a really awesome film if that did happen.
What if everyone on Earth dies except the Avengers? You know, like the Avengers fail, all of Earth is destroyed, but at the very last second, Ant-Man shrinks everyone down to that little microverse we saw in the first Ant-Man movie so that hopefully they can make a comeback. This would explain why Ant-Man and the Wasp is being released after Infinity War.
Everyone, and I mean anyone who is in the king of Wakanda, Wakanda forever, is gonna bite the dust, okay?
This is not going to be the only Infinity War movie. This is just part 1. So my theory, everyone dies except for Doctor Strange, and he brings them back via time travel or something.
And you know what? It's not a crazy thing to say because this is one of those movies, especially with another Avengers movie coming out in 1 year's time. This is one of those movies that could absolutely take a risk like that, and I love what he said at the end, the time gem. First of all, the Black Panther comment cracked me up, but the time gem is the one that really was like, okay, they could go all out and just murder everyone on the team, leave Doctor Strange as the last one remaining, and reverse time. What a great idea. Now, do I believe personally that Marvel's going to take that risk? No, but it is a very cool concept, one that I have never thought about before. This is why I pose the question to other smarter people.
Star-Lord possibly, I feel like, because it may have something to do with his origin that we discovered in Volume 2. I'm not sure why I think that. And I know there's supposed to be a Spider-Man Homecoming 2, but this scares me.
Once again, one I didn't think about, but you see that cover, it's a comic book storyline. Kevin Feige has read the comic books. He knows what he's doing. Is it possible? Could they bring in Miles Morales? Oh my goodness.
I feel like we might lose the Vision in order to get that Infinity Stone that's out of him, which in return will send Scarlet Witch into a rage, causing him to hurt Thanos for a little bit, but eventually she will die.
Hawkeye will die. Gamora, maybe. Groot again.
I think anyone who wants out of the contract or doesn't want to renew their contract is fair game. Mainly maybe Iron Man, Captain America, or Thor.
Either War Machine or Hawkeye. Both are kind of supporting, both are out, and then we're just kind of thrown in.
I don't think that Marvel have the guts to kill off someone like an Iron Man or a Captain America, and to be honest, I don't really think they want to either. You are going to see a lot of the second tier and below characters getting killed off in this movie, like your War Machines and your Hawkeyes and your Falcons.
What if Thanos killed the Hulk? That would completely kill the morality of the team, because he's the strongest Avenger there is. Also, either Bucky or Falcon's gonna die. One of them will die.
I heard Thor, I heard Hawkeye, I heard Gamora. The Hulk one is one that I've never really thought about before because in my opinion, the Hulk can't really die. But what if they took a risk like that? Would that not be the craziest thing? Especially the affinity that fans have for Mark Ruffalo. The affinity, I love the guy.
Now, it's easy to say Cap is gonna go, Tony's gonna go, or even Vision's gonna go. I think that Bucky's gonna go.
What way to repay Cap for saving your life and bring you back home is to say sacrifice yourself for the greater good.
Bucky. Wow. I didn't think of that. That's a good idea.
I think it's Pepper Potts. I think she was brought back to Spider-Man Homecoming really awkwardly after being dismissed in Civil War awkwardly. She needs to have some kind of proper send-off. I don't think Gwyneth Paltrow wants to stay in the MCU in any way. I think Mr. Sunday Movies theory is correct that she's in the Iron Man suit that we see Thanos punch in the trailer. Just don't kill Captain America.
Thank you, film enthusiasts. This is the one that I wanted to talk about. I, too, heard Mr. Sunday Movies podcast where he talked about that, he and Nick Mason. My goodness, what a cool theory. And actually, if you watch the trailer over again, you see Iron Man put his hands up like this. Is that Tony Stark? Because, of course, he's going to be afraid to fight Thanos, but I don't believe truly that Tony Stark is really that afraid of a fight, so it would make sense if Pepper Potts was in that suit. And you see in the leaked trailer that I may or may not have watched, Spider-Man is apologizing to Tony. I'm sorry, Tony. Is he sorry that Pepper Potts sacrificed her life and he couldn't save her? Oh my goodness.
Marvel is going to kill off their main three. Iron Man, Cap, and Thor. I think they're all going to bite the dust because their contracts are about to run out. Hey man, the only one they can't kill, man, is me, Kog. Because I was the best part of Thor Ragnarok. If they do that, then everyone will riot.
Film guy, I really enjoyed your thoughts, but can we all just take a second to appreciate that Korg impression? I had to include that because it was spot on. So good. All great thoughts. Thank you guys so much for contributing, but now we've come to the portion of the video where I'm going to give you guys my predictions, who I think will die. Hulk, Scarlet Witch, Black Widow, and Rhodey. I think all four of those characters are safe. Now, Rhodey is probably the closest to me, but if they would have killed him off, it should have been in Civil War. I think Falcon lives. I think Ant-Man lives for sure. Black Panther and Spidey, I honestly don't think they're going anywhere. Doctor Strange is safe. Bucky. Now, this is where we get close and controversial. I think Bucky has a tiny chance, but I'm still saying he survives this movie. I do believe that Vision survives this movie just because I think they're going to follow the comic book storyline and end him up with Scarlet Witch. I think Thor makes it out. I think Loki has a very high possibility of dying, but just because I'm such a huge fan of Tom Hiddleston, I'm going to be selfish here and say he survives. Iron Man. I don't think he dies here. I think he serves as the Bruce Wayne to Spider-Man's Batman Beyond. I think he retires after these two films because he's not the leader that we are going to lose, and it pains me to say this. I believe Captain America is going to die. He's my favorite character, my all-time favorite on-screen superhero. I do not want him to die, but I believe that's where the story is going to take us. It's going to break my heart, but within the next two films, we see Captain America bite the dust. So that leaves two. You have Hawkeye. I think he's sort of expendable, and I think he's going to die. And then a theory that I've not really heard yet, but one that I think would make sense. Nebula has tried her best to impress her father her entire life. I think it comes down to her versus Thanos at one point, and the fact that Thanos would kill his own daughter. Of course, he did all those terrible things to her that you heard about in Guardians 2, but he would kill his own daughter. I don't think it's Gamora, I think it's Nebula. So Captain America, Hawkeye, and Nebula, those are my thoughts. Thank you guys so much for contributing to this video. I had an absolute blast watching your videos, editing this entire thing. It's been a real thrill for me. If you didn't get a chance to respond, I will be doing one of these again. You guys are the absolute best. Be sure to watch all of my movie reviews and trailer reactions that have come out in the last week. I have Red Sparrow and Death Wish on the channel now. And then, of course, my Oscar prediction video that came out yesterday. You guys are the absolute best, and I will catch you later.